Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the Empty Kitchen. I am Don, the Empty Chef, and this is Don's Empty Kitchen. You'll probably see Gage running around behind me. He's on his way to work, so he won't be joining us today, but that's okay. Today we're just going to do bread again, and this time I'm going to do I'm going to do a couple of loaves. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in the bread maker, one loaf in the bread maker, and one in the oven, and we're gonna taste test at the end of the video between the two. But I am making 3 or 4 loaves, so if you're on my Facebook page and you want a loaf of bread, now is the time to chime in. Because if you call me this afternoon, I'll say too late. No, I'm done for the day. So you'll have to wait till next time. But yeah, I usually offer loaves of bread when I'm making them, like 2 or 3, not hundreds, just 2 or 3. But I am going to do like 3 or 4 loaves today, one for the oven, one for the bread maker, and the rest I'm just going to leave as balls of dough and stick them in the freezer for another time. I'd love to be able to move the cameras, and next time I'm on, I'll show you my new herb garden, which is over here, which is over there. I got a brand new metal stand to put pots and pans on, and my herb garden in the middle. And they're starting to come up. It's been 2 weeks now, a little bit over 2 weeks. And I'm starting to see tiny little green sprouts coming out of everything. So the whole herb garden is looking good. As you can see, I have my coffee. But I'm out of whitener. I'm even out of cooking milk, so I can't make anything interesting today. That's why we're just doing bread. But you know, you can follow me along and keep up if you want to. And I've got to get my measuring spoon and my measuring scoops out, and I'll be right back. Okay. Hey everybody, how you doing? So we're doing bread today. I got the flour ready and everything. I got my measuring scoop. For those of you who have really good ears, you're probably going to hear some stuff coming out from outside. I don't know what they're doing. I haven't looked, but they're making noise. And you know, it's spring, so it sounds like they're getting ready to do stuff. Who knows? Anyway, so I'm just going to roll my flour bag down a little bit so it's easier to get to the flour, and I don't have to rip it. Just like that. Okay. Well, let's switch cameras for you so it's easier. So I got the other camera's in the way. Okay, well, I got it all rolled down like this. And you'll see people take knives to the top of their cups and stuff like that. What I do is I just push it against the side of the bag. No fuss, no muss, no coconuts, you know. And it, oh, the front camera's off, okay. All right, well, I'll just put that there. Why is the front camera off? Hey everyone, we're back. Okay, I'm sorry about the camera going out. I had to change the battery. Anyway, there's our first level cup of flour going in our bowl. Okay? And again, I just rub it against the side of the bag. Keep scooping until I got a full scoop, and then rub it against the side of the bag. And there we go. And there we go. We got a nice level scoop of flour. And that's 2. And just, you can tell when it's full, you know, you can feel it. It's overflowing. There we go. And there. And there's 3 level scoops of flour. So that's our flour, okay? And it's really nice to have metal mixing bowls. Okay, so that's going to go aside for right now, because we're going to make a few more, but we're just going to do the first one here. And everyone is going to be just like, I forgot the water. Okay, I'll leave it running, but I'll be back. I'm back. Hey, I'm back. Okay, So there's our 3 cups of flour. Now the wet ingredients I tend to put together in the measuring cup beforehand. So we're looking at 1 cup, which is right at the right there. Okay, so we're looking at 1 cup of water, and we always have a little extra because it always takes more than 1 cup, but not much, and it's depending on the day, depending on the dough. So I'm going to put this over here off camera. It's just a jug of water. I am going to put my 2 tablespoons of sugar in the water, and notice I got a couple of extra spoons now. 2 spoons and a fork, just to be precise, because I always have to get up to get a spoon because I forget them. So we're going to go with 2 nice heaping tablespoons of water. You guys can see that, okay? Yeah, it's a little off center, but oh well. And there's another one, okay? And keep the spoon dry if we can. This one's a little wet, so I'm going to switch. Put this over here and grab my yeast. Make sure that's dry. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to grab a tablespoon and a half of yeast. So there's 1, and that's about half. Okay. And we'll leave that one dry. This one's already wet, so we'll use this one to mix. And we're going to take 2 tablespoons of salt, which this is Himalayan salt. So we're going to actually try that. I don't know if it's going to turn the bread pink or not, but it's going to be interesting anyway. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of Himalayan salt in with our flour. And we're going to give our wet mixture here. It's tepid warm water, so it's not really hot. It's not really cold. It's just like room temperature. And we're going to give this a good mix and hopefully get a little bit of a froth on top. Because once we get a froth on top, then that mixes well with the flour to make a good loaf of bread. And you know, I got my mic up here, right? I know you guys can see it in the small camera. I got my mic up here, and it kind of feels to me like my glasses are hanging there, and I keep wanting to put them on, but they're over on my desk. I forgot them, so I guess we're out of luck there. Oh, look at that. We still got yeast on the spoon. You don't want that. You want to make sure it's all mixed together. Get that rubbed against the wall here. There we go. There we go. Got it all mixed in now. Give that a really good stir. And go the other way to break up the vortex. Break up the vortex. Break up the vortex. Don't let it... Oh, damn it. I spilled a little bit. But I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so we still got a tiny bit of yeast right there on my finger. And my hands are very, very clean. I did shower this morning before I started filming, and I've been washing my hands ever since. So my hand, because I know I'm going to have my hands in this dough eventually. So I wanted really clean hands. So let's put our bowl here and get it pretty much in focus. And I just want to move everything. First of all, we'll mix the salt in with the flour. We don't want to make too much of a mess. Oh, if you guys are wondering where my hat and apron are, my apron, I forgot to wash it yesterday. I did laundry yesterday, and I forgot to put the apron in the laundry. So that's got to be done this week sometime. As soon as I get enough stuff to do another laundry, because I do my laundry once a month usually, you know, because I do everything at once because I hate laundry. So I do everything at once. So now the only thing that's not clean in the apartment is the apron. So now I just gotta wait. So, and my hat. I can't find my hat anywhere. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. You think you could be able to find a hat? I didn't wear it out. I didn't take it out of the house. So, and I did go out this week. I'll put a picture up. Good looking guy, huh? Not bad, eh? Too bad I can't find a girlfriend. Anyway, So, our yeast is starting to rise to the top. It's not completely mixed. Let's give it another good stir and break those clumps up because we want it all thoroughly mixed together before we add it to our flour. And like I was going to say, in the flour, we want to make a little well in the center, just like you're making pasta. I'm going to do it with a fork to keep it nice and clean, and just make a nice little well right there, and that's where we're going to pour our water, or our water and yeast mixture. Okay, and we'll get this going. We'll get the automatic arm going, automatic beep, and we'll just slowly add our water and yeast as we go. Now, usually if I keep it like this, just the movement of my arm and my tits bouncing against the other, my other arm will get just enough water to go as I stir. And this bowl is moving. I'm not used to having a bowl that moves. That's okay. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's going the wrong way, though. I would have preferred it to work anti. Okay, let's do the rest of that. There we go. So we got everything. That's completely empty. Okay, I'm going to put that over there because we don't really need it right now. Actually, you know what? Just so I don't over pour, I'm just going to fill it with water and keep it handy so I can put a little bit at a time, because I know it will come. This can just go in the corner of the salt, and my coffee can go in me. Just a second, guys. Normally when I take my coffee, it's triple, but we're all out of milk, and we're all out of cooking milk and powdered milk and coffee made and everything in the way of dairy. So that's why bread today, because we don't need any dairy for bread. So this fork has done as much as it's going to do. I'm going to do the rest by hand because, well, that's the way I was taught, and that's the way I like doing it, just by hand. I like getting my hands in there and getting the feel for it, because then I can feel whether or not I need more water, I need more flour. I better not need more flour, but yeah. And this is just basically a white sandwich dough. I mean, you could, but anyway, this is just a white sandwich dough. So I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to go wash my hands and blow my nose. Okay, so I'll be right back. Hi, Don the Anti-Chef here. We joke around a lot on this channel. We have a lot of fun, but I'd like to get serious for a second. The Ottawa Foodbank. If you live in this city, you either use their service or you know somebody who does, whether you know it or not. It's not always easy to talk about not having enough food to eat or not having enough food to feed your family. But you're saying to yourself, I'm only one person, what can I do? Well, everyone counts. Everyone in this world counts. So even if you just have a little food to spare or some time on your hands, volunteer. Or if you have a bit of money, donate what you can. They'll take anything. They need the help. We need the help. Help your community. The Ottawa Foodbank. It's a good place to start. Okay, so I'm back. I washed my hands, I blew my nose, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I really am. Okay, so we're getting a good consistency here. We're not having to add any water just yet. I want to get everything off the bottom of the bowl. And I do notice that in the metal bowl, it sticks to the bowl a lot more than it does in my big plastic bowl that I usually use. So I think I might go back to the plastic bowl, even though this one's a little smaller, a little more easier to work with. But it's also, the flour sticks to the bowl, which don't really care for that much, because I like seeing a nice clean bowl to know that I got every bit of flour in there. I'm going to take a little bit of water. We're just going to put in a little bit. There we go. That's quite a bit. We're just going to beat the hell out of this, and we're going to get it all incorporated, get all the flour we can. And it's starting to feel a little tough. And we don't want it too tough. We don't want it too tough, because if it makes it too tough, it doesn't raise very well. So anyway, well, I'm going to mix this and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see in the above camera, we got it pretty much mixed. We're getting rid of the raggy edges right now. I'm going to take a little bit of this flour that's still hanging around and just dump it on my mat here that I have. This is a pretty good mat for making dough. It's what it's supposed to be. When I first got this table, it was donated, and the mat that's on top of it came with it. And when I first got it, I thought, oh, it's a poker table, because the underside is felt, right, so it doesn't move. But no, apparently it's a cooking mat because it's cut proof. You can't cut it with a knife, and well, you can if you really try, but you're not supposed to be able to easily. And you can't cut it with a knife, and dough really works on it. You don't really need to put flour down. And we're just going to knead it, and we bend it over and we push, and then we turn and we bend and we push and we turn, and we keep going like that until we get a very nice doughy ball that's not as sticky as it is right now. But I'm not the best at kneading dough. I never claimed to be a baker. But what I do does work. So, I do have people asking me for my bread. So, it does end up turning out okay. I could use just a wee bit more flour. I'm just going to reach a little bit off camera and grab the bag off camera. I'm just going to sprinkle the flour here and there, and put a little bit on my hands. And there we go. Okay, there we go, and there we go. We got a nice. Okay, now it feels like dough. Now it feels like a loaf of bread instead of and I'm turning into a sticky mess. I was gonna say it doesn't feel like a sticky mess anymore. So yeah. So there we go. Okay, I'm gonna, well, maybe just a few more, because I don't want it too tough, right? So maybe, sorry about this, people. I'm not taking any calls right now, thanks. So, and there is our first ball of dough. Now that's ready for your bread maker. If you want to save yourself some time on your bread maker, save the engine on your bread maker, because my bread maker, as I always tell you guys, my bread maker is really kind of old. So let's go back to camera one. So my bread maker is really kind of old, and the engine's gone on it, but the proofer and the heater is really good on it. So I make the bread by hand, and then I throw it in the bread maker and let it do the rest. And it still beats it up, it tries to beat it up anyway. So I'm going to make another 3 more of these balls, and then I'll be back with you guys, okay? So, just 2 seconds. Be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I got talking with my daughter on the phone, so uh, the dough has been sitting here. As you can see, this has risen a little bit, but that's okay because that one was going to be put in the bread maker, and this one was going to go in the oven, but I'm going to switch it up because the oven doesn't have a proofer. My oven only, the lowest it will go is 200, which is too high to proof. So this one will go in the bread maker, and you can proof in the bread maker. And that one, since it's been sitting there proofing for the last 20 minutes, because it's been about 20 minutes that I was on the phone with my daughter. So, and this one's got, you can tell it's got a bit of a skin on it now because it's been sitting in the flour for a bit, but we'll work that in. We'll get it all nice and soft again, and maybe we'll just put a little bit, just a wee bit. Okay, put that on the camera so you can see. Just put a wee bit of water in there and roll that through, and then pick up all that flour and soften it up and fold it, get it up in there and knead it. You're needed. We need you. So yeah, I don't like the metal bowl for making the dough, but I'll make do with it for today. But I think next time I'm back to my plastic bowl, because the plastic bowl, it picks up all the flour everywhere. Right here, I'll put that more in the middle so you can see, guys, better. And I should be using 2 hands to knead it with. But as you can see, my hands are relatively dough free, so it is picking up everything that it's supposed to pick up. It's just a pain in the ass. It doesn't look nice. And I usually like it looking nice. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to dump that flour that's there onto there. And I'm going to try and pick this up. And because I'm not adding any more moisture to this, no more water to this, so I'm going to try and pick up all these flakes and incorporate them into the dough. And this is our second one, and I'm going to make 2 more, or at least 1 more, because we got 1 for the oven, 1 for the bread maker. I was going to put 1 in the freezer, but I got a request for a loaf of bread from my neighbor, so he saw it on Facebook, and instead of answering me on Facebook, he came over and knocked at the door while I was talking to my daughter. He says, "Hey, Don, heard you're making bread." I said, "Yeah, you want one?" He says, "Yeah, please." I said, "Okay, no problem." So, so he caught me in time. And though he didn't put anything on Facebook to say, "Hey, make me a loaf," but that's okay. I don't mind. He came over in person, and that's the more desired thing, I think, right? Okay, I'm gonna put a little flour down, just because it's. I've got my cup in there, and I just want a little bit. Okay, that's good. Sorry, got some flour in my throat there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I get things in my throat real easy into my lungs because unlike the rest of you humans, I was born without that little, doctors have told me all the time, and I keep forgetting the name of it, that little flap that goes over your hole for your lungs whenever you swallow. It's a little skin flap that covers your lungs when you swallow. That's why you can't breathe while you're swallowing. But I don't have that flap. So I've had, ever since I was a kid, I've had things go in my lungs. And if anybody knows what it feels like to drown, believe me, I do. It's happened to me thousands of times. Yeah, you just can't breathe. You can't, your lungs pull and pull and pull, and they're not getting anything, So, and then you automatically start conversing, and your lungs push and push and push, and finally push it out, whatever it is, and then you feel like you're gonna puke, and it's just nastiness. It really is. So that just sucked up all that flour I just put down, and that's what's good about this tabletop. I really like this tabletop. I don't know where they make them. I don't know how they make them. But I know they're for cooking, and if you can get yourself one, hey, I say go for it, especially if you do a lot of baking, because look at that. I mean, and you can roll on this table. It will roll out. It won't stick to the table, but it will stay put. It's actually really, really nice. And it's very hard to cut. I don't have a knife handy, but you could do that all day with a knife and you won't cut it. With a sharp knife, like a good knife. But I still don't want to take any chances in doing that, because I know once it's cut, it stays cut. So I don't want that to happen. So that's what I'm calling my second loaf. And it needs to look a little drier than it does, but that's okay. So that's my second one, and you'll notice when I put it next to the first one how much 20 minutes makes a difference. So like yeah. So we got 2 more to go, and I'll be back. Okay, 2 seconds, guys. Bye. Hey everybody, just thought I'd show you this. This is the last one I'm doing. As you can see, my other 2 are there. This one is for my neighbor, so I made it into a little bit bigger loaf. So this one is 3.5 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of yeast, and 1.5 tablespoons of salt. I'm using Himalayan salt, but you can use table salt. So that I just wanted you to see this, that it is going to be a little bigger than the other 2 once it's proofed. So just so you know, and my hands are getting really tired. So I think this is it for me for today, for the bread. And so I'll catch up with you when we're getting ready to put them in the bread machine and in the oven. Okay. So all right. I'll be back. Okay, hey everybody, how you doing? My mic cut out in this part, so I'm very carefully trying to separate an egg white and yolk. Don't worry, the egg white did get used. We made a meringue and made a banana frosty for both me and my roommate. With like a meringue and bananas and milk. It's pretty good. So I've got the pan here to go in the oven. It's been margarined and floured. I don't use butter and flour because butter is too expensive, and when margarine will work just as good. So I use margarine and then flour, and got that all ready to go. And now I just take 1 egg yolk, and I'm gonna go get my brush here. And I'm standing in this video because I'm going to be moving around a lot. Some of it's going in the oven, some goes in the bread maker. And if you listen carefully in the background on my microphone, you can hear my bread maker going like mad. And yeah, so that's my bread maker in the background. It's pretty damn loud. And when it's on the wheelie cart, I call it R2D loaf because it wheels around the apartment for as long as the cord will will let it go, and it actually looks like a little robot. It moves like R2D2 does when R2D2 gets excited. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the pan, and I'm gonna let that rise in the pan. So. I'm gonna let that rise in the pan, so I'm gonna go ahead and just brush the egg onto it, and just leave it to rise on the stove. And I left it to rise for about another 40 minutes until it filled the pan, and then I stuck it in the oven a few minutes ago actually. So it's been in the oven a few minutes now, and the other one. The first one at the top or the bottom, the one I'm not egg washing right now, that one's in the bread maker right now. And the one I'm egg washing now gets wrapped in tin foil because I'm out of saran wrap. I'm going to wrap it in tin foil and stick it in the fridge. And because I only have one oven tray, I only have one bread maker, so yeah, and I'm putting that in the bread maker right now, and you'll hear well, you won't hear a big beep because my mic is dead in this video. So I'm redoing it with this one. So yeah. Anyway, so we got a couple hours before this video is finished now because everything's in the oven or the bread maker or in the fridge waiting to go in the bread maker or the oven, whichever's first. I think it's going to be the oven first, quite honestly, because the bread maker takes 3 hours to make a loaf of bread. So, whereas the oven is going to take 20 minutes, half an hour, I guess. I'm going to check on it in 20 minutes and find out. It's the first time I've made a loaf of bread in this particular oven. I have done it before at my other places, but this is the first time I've made one in the oven here, because usually I use the bread maker, right? So oh, there's my fat ass, yeah. And that right there, ladies, is why I can't find a girlfriend. Yeah. But anyway, you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next part. Hey guys, so this is our first loaf of bread out of the oven. It's 2:01. It went in at 1:26. So do the math. I just pulled it out of the oven now. It's still very, very hot. The pan is still very hot. So I'm gonna let that cool. I'm gonna clean it out, and then I'll put Xavier's loaf in. But there's our first look at our first loaf. And while I'm here, I'm gonna try and show you guys my new shelf. So at the bottom, the bread maker is going right now, and you can tell it's actually moved over because it moves. And my popcorn maker, my crock pot, and then I have my my no good pot that I can't use for food anymore. I use it to keep onions in and garlic and anything with shells, you know, like skins, so it doesn't make a mess. And my electronics, like my beater and my blender, go on here, and my pots and bowls. And here is my pride and joy. I'm going to get in there for you. Is I've got, you can hear the video in the background going. I'm pre-recording there and talking here. So as you can see, I'm getting sprouts everywhere, which is awesome. And that's my extra stuff. And like if we go in real tight, you can actually see that I'm getting little sprouts. Okay. And see the little green sprouts? So I'm actually very proud of this. It's doing really well. Oh, look how high they are. Wow. What is this one? You guys make that out? Oh, dill. Okay, that one's dill. Right on. So this is the dill I tried to plant. Tried to grow roots. It's doing okay, but it's not doing the greatest. But we're gonna let that go and keep going. I'm sorry you didn't see that, did you? Okay. So it's growing a little bit of roots, but I'm gonna let that keep going till it's dead or has plant. That I believe that is tomatoes. Either that one's tomatoes or that one's tomatoes. I don't know which one. Well, one is parsley and the other one's tomatoes. So, and that's that. And then move Gage's bananas here. That's this is baking goods and pots is on the next shelf, and then the top shelf is all my dry goods. You know, the flour and that, and cereals and stuff like that. So that's one of the shelves that I have that I plan on getting. So hey guys, I'm too lazy to set up the cameras, so I'm just gonna finish the video with my cell phone here. As you can see, the two on the right are from the oven. They're not as high as the bread maker, but they are longer. They have a beautiful color coating to them, whereas the bread maker one doesn't allow you to do a color coating. It does beep just before it starts baking, so I guess you could put a color, you know, an egg wash on then, but I didn't. And this is the way I usually make my bread. It comes out, you know, nice, and you get nice thick slices. So yeah, so that's that, and I got an important message for you guys to watch, so watch that, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hey, I hope you liked the video, and like, subscribe, and share. And remember, if you really like us, we got our Patreon below. One last thing I'd like to say is you have value, you have worth, and you deserve a place in this world. So find that one thing that's going to get you out of bed in the morning and do it. And don't let anybody tell you any different either. Hey, I'm Don the Anti-Chef, and I'm pulling for you. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, sorry, no bloopers today at Knock on Wood. It actually turned out pretty well. I just wanted to say, hey Rachel, how you doing? Glad you could join us. I was talking with Kayla earlier, and she mentioned that you were looking for my channel and was going to subscribe. So thank you very much. And yeah, so anyway, everybody, Rachel and Kayla are good friends, and Kayla just came back from Calgary after hanging out with Rachel for a week, and they have some awesome photos and stuff. So yeah, good friends. I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Nice to see you, Rachel. Hi. Bye bye.